Hello and good afternoon, South Africa. My name is Unaiza Suliman, the founder and franchisor of Unique Brows. I am here with a great friend of mine.
Hi, my name is Malema. I am a photographer and founder of RTC Studios, and today we are out here fishing for answers. Are you ready to give us a few answers?
Depends how great your fishing skills are.
You have to fish first, so you go first.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay.
So Austin.
Yes.
How have you managed networking for your business during COVID-19?
Oh my God. I spent a whole lot of time networking during COVID. So the very first thing that we tried to do was create personal projects with my team, just to share with people so they can see that we are able to do other styles of photography. And then after that, we started redesigning our portfolio and then going back on all the emails where we received requests for quotations. And then we just started sending people emails saying, hey guys, this is who we are, RTC Studios, and we've just updated our portfolio. Have a look at our new portfolio, and if you need any photography services, don't be afraid to call us. And that actually led us to find a whole lot of new business that we are hoping to carry on after COVID. What about yourself?
Gosh, I always say that my network equals my net worth. And I needed to remain in people's faces because eyebrows were going to be a problem in a month from the day the president said we're going to lock down.
Yes.
So what I did was I just jumped on board. I started a vision board, and I decided that my team and I are going to carry on with the things that we didn't get down to pre-COVID, the mundane stuff. And then I went aggressive with my marketing. I started an Insta story, Insta challenge. So I started interviewing ladies and gents on my Instagram, trying to remain relevant, giving us cooking tips and finance tips and COVID tips and a podiatrist talking about things. And I ran a skipping challenge because my alter ego is fitness, and there was no gym equipment. It was sold out by the time I got to the stores. So I had my fitness challenge. It was so nice that during the time of the lockdown, I launched my website. And that's when product sales was crazy. We were soaring with product sales. Brow serums, because I was running these tutorials. People, bring your tweezer and your scissor and your Veet and your razor, and I'll show you how to do your eyebrows. So that helped us to remain relevant.
I think you, from what I saw during lockdown, there were a lot of beauty challenges that were happening, and I'm very sure you guys probably made major sales in the first couple of months of lockdown.
I won't say the first couple of months. Well, the first month, nothing. From month 2, people had that urge that they needed to buy something. I actually had a new product born out of COVID. So we called it the pandemic brow, which is soap brows. I had a lady from a home that sells soaps from home, and I said to her, please, can you help me? I need soaps for my clients. And the soap brow trend was just such a hit, so it was awesome.
That's amazing.
You ready?
Yeah,
let's go. Let's
okay, cool.
Give this a little shake, guys.
No cheating.
No cheating.
This is a very thick one.
Oh, my soul.
Oh, wow. How early do you think we should be teaching children about entrepreneurship? Do you view it as the best solution to the current high rate of unemployment amongst the youth?
Okay. So as a mum, I have a 14-year-old and an 8-year-old. I understand the challenges of the instant gratification era. My children want things here and now. By teaching them and talking about money, which is what we do, because as an entrepreneur and as a businesswoman, it's all I do is we talk business, and my children know who I complain about and what I don't like and my likes and dislikes. But I have this conversation with them, and I believe that it's important that my kids are raised to be entrepreneurs. They have that entrepreneurial spirit. And recently we had a conversation with my financial planner. We opened up 2 policies for my kids, and I said, you need to control your money now. So I've given them that hand to understand where they're going with their own finances. And my daughter she's in high school now. She's preparing to go into overseas. She wants to study overseas. And I said to her, you need to plan. You need to prepare for this. And you are the future. You're going to be the future president, or you don't even know where you're going to be. I am raising you, and you're going to be raising the next progeny. So they need to know everything about business, because if you have a business, you have freedom in many ways.
That's very true. I think entrepreneurship is very important. I know about myself. So when I was young, I used to sell sweets in high school, even though it was not allowed. But I learned how to be street smart and street savvy that way, that now I use the same skills that I learned during high school when I was selling sweets to navigate the business world, because that's, if you're street smart, you know how to speak to people and how to get around certain situations.
Right.
So it's quite important for us to teach people entrepreneurship. But the other problem is you can't just say, you need to teach people about entrepreneurship, because it's not as simple as we make it out to be.
Correct.
Because it's emotionally draining, it's financially draining, and sometimes you end up spending months without having received payments from certain clients, and then you have to pay your staff and your overheads, and it's not as simple as that. People need to be smart when they get into entrepreneurship. You need to know that it is going to be challenging. It's not just about the freedom that you get from making your own money or controlling your own time. There are other people who depend on you as well.
Right, absolutely.
Okay.
Fantastic.
It's my time to get you to fish for another answer.
Here we go. Another question.
Question, yeah.
Okay.
And then I give you the answer.
Right. I love this question. It's my favorite one.
Yes.
What advice would you give to entrepreneurs looking to start a business in your industry or sector?
Damn. I think I just mentioned one thing now about the hardships of entrepreneurship. It's not as simple. And in the photography world, you need to be well versed in different styles of photography. It's not just about picking up a camera and taking photos. You need to know how to communicate with people first. Just like any business, it's a customer-based environment. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is get yourself ready for the challenges, because it's not just about taking pictures, it's about managing people. It's about managing clients' emotions, how they receive your images as well. So there's that. The other challenges that you will find is not everybody's going to open a door for you. Sometimes you have to keep pushing those doors to get in, just like any other industry.
Right.
It's not simple. You can just take great pictures of your friends and family, but when you get into the business of taking pictures, it's beyond that. It's about knowing what to cost for. So when you get into the photography industry, or if you are looking to get into that business, you need to figure out what you want to do first. Find a niche that you like. Say, I want to do weddings. Okay, cool. If I'm getting into weddings, how much does a photographer cost for a wedding in my range? So I'm just starting. I am not the best, but how much can I charge for a wedding for
Right.
a potential client? And then you look at the gear that you need to get. What gear do I have access to?
And gear is expensive,
It
right?
is very expensive, and there are many ways to go around the gear situation where you can buy your own gear if you've got the money, or rent gear.
Right.
So I think it's a lot of research needs to be taken into consideration before you get into photography.
Right.
And just like any other business, actually. Yeah.
Is there like a special success secret that you have?
It's called hard work.
Hard work. It's putting in the hours underneath
That's
the belt.
it. Yeah.
It's the same with me in my industry. A lot of people say to me, like, Unaiza, you're the brow queen. You've built up this brow business. How did you do it? And it's hard work. It's really working blood, sweat, and tears, the sacrifices. The time away from my children, the time away from my family, the times when people are going on holiday, that's my busiest period, and you're sacrificing all of that. But also, very importantly, I always say in my talks is that if you have a dream, if you believe in something that you want to do, you need to cut out on the noise, because you'll get the negativity of people saying, you can't do this, or you will never, people said to me, how would you make money out of eyebrows?
And look at you now.
And look at me now. So it was really streamlining my business, and what you said was so important, that find your niche. We only do eyebrows and eyelashes.
That's it.
That's it. And we are the masters in brow and lash design. But I also feel like self-empowerment. I mean, I'm sure with you, you're always learning new things, with me as well. Like, it's constant studying. I'm a student for the rest of my life, having that teachable spirit to learn new things in that niche and becoming the best at what I do.
That's it.
Yeah.
I think we all, I always take time to learn different things, and either it's in photography or speaking to mentors about the business that I'm in, trying to figure out different things that other people aren't doing, and trying to find alternatives to our services that we offer as well.
I also would like to say that I'd like to add on to that, knowing your worth is so important. You your time is money, and when you send an invoice and you expect a client to pitch at that time and they don't, you've lost
a bit of
that money. That revenue is gone. So, for me, like taking a deposit is so important. Securing the client and making the client just as much as accountable as I am to the service that I'm going to deliver. So know your worth. It's very important.
Very true.
You ready?
Okay, yes.
We've got 2 questions to go.
Okay, hold on.
Which one?
I'm going to choose this
Go
one.
for it.
Okay, cool. What would you say makes entrepreneurship so important now more than ever?
Okay. Trick question, but a great one. So I think a lot of people post-COVID have found their passions.
Yes.
A lot of people have said that they actually changed during this time, and they found, whether it's cooking, photography, browse, they had the time to find themselves.
Yes.
And today, while I was having my makeup done at the Mac store, 5 of the ladies said that they're leaving, and they're going to start off into their own businesses. I think we're going to see a massive growth spurt in young entrepreneurs and small businesses being born like crazy over the next few months, which is fantastic. So, what was my question again?
What do you think makes entrepreneurship important during this
Great.
time?
Right. So entrepreneurship is very important. I just almost deflected there. So there's a lot of things that make you important as part of the circle in our economy. We're going to bring a lot of value to the economy. I understand as an entrepreneur, my leadership skills are so important, because year on, I'm empowering young women that have never touched an eyebrow. And these women look after the households. So there is job development, job creation, and that fulfilling life that you lead as an entrepreneur.
I think, entrepreneurship has been important for the longest time, and I think most of our economy is held up by SMMEs, because we are literally the backbone of most households. I myself, as a small business owner, I have 5 employees that I have to look after, and if I take my entrepreneurship importantly, or my role as an entrepreneur importantly, I will always go out there to find work and represent my company to the best that we can, so we can get more work, so we can hire more young people.
Correct.
And I believe that it's more important to younger people, because we are the future of tomorrow, and if we don't take the economy into our own hands and we wait on the government to do something for us, we will wait for a very long time.
I always say I wish I had me in my corner when I was a young entrepreneur, and all the school fees that I paid and the mistakes that I've made, I help and I mentor and I empower these ladies, and I teach them to be savvy as well, so that when they leave me, they left where they walk out of my business with product knowledge, work acumen, integrity, putting everything into your business, because it's what you spend most of your time at work than you do with your family. And a lot of people's side hustles are now going to become their main hustles, which is great.
That's actually why entrepreneurship is important, because a lot of people are going to take their side hustles into their main jobs.
Fantastic.
Okay, last question.
You ready?
It's for you.
Here you go.
It's a very thick piece of paper. It's a long piece. It's a long question.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Okay, here we go. What was the most challenging part of running your business during COVID-19, and how has COVID-19 affected your business?
I think the most challenging part for me during COVID-19 was the first 2 months, because there was a bit of confusion that was happening, like trying to figure out what we're going to do as creatives, because we had challenges on social media, and as a business owner, I was trying to think about ways to still make an income and have my team work while the regulations were still in place. And luckily for us, we were able to get into shooting behind the scenes for TV shows. We scooped ourselves a great big client through that, that we are shooting a lot more behind the scenes work for. and that was, one of the ways that we came back into the business. For the longest time, we were shooting behind the scenes for a TV show for about 3 months, and that was our main business at that time. And then we realized that there's a shortage of behind the scenes photography in the country. So why don't we get into that space, And I feel like COVID actually helped, move and reshape our business, because we were looking at entertainment as our main source of income and doing a lot of events, like large events and launches and stuff like that. And when all of that left, we're trying to figure out, okay, cool, what are we going to do? There's no events, lockdown has just
had to be innovative.
That's it. And, it's not innovative in a new way. It's just looking at the industry and what's not happening in the industry and what gaps can we fill in the industry and still make some sort of income as a team.
Right.
And also, like, another thing that it actually helped with was I had been trying to get into above the line, shooting stuff for above the line, and for the longest time I struggled very hard to get into that space. But with COVID, we're able to reach out to different clients and new clients who were able to give us opportunities to shoot stuff for them. And I learned that, it's more about persistence. I mentioned that, we went back and sent out emails with our portfolio to different clients, and that's what actually got us to where we are currently. We've sent out 2 batches of mailers with our different portfolios, just redesigning the portfolio and spamming people and saying, look guys, this is what we do. Look at our portfolio, our commercial portfolio, our eventing and lifestyle portfolio, look at our product and car photography portfolio. And that actually helped us, navigate and also expand like our portfolio to our clients, because certain clients did not know that we were able to do commercial work, and some didn't know that we were able to do product photography. So COVID actually helped regenerate our business.
We're definitely not grateful for the pandemic or coronavirus, but COVID-19 and the lockdown has definitely brought a brand new sphere and a playing field in many businesses. There was a lot of positive that came out of it. I know for myself, my business just grew. And people are like shocked. They like, jaws are dropping, like you've just opened up a store in Sandton City. This is the common question. How did you do this? Post-COVID. I mean, people's businesses have shut down.
True.
Doors have closed. Sadly, good friends of mine, the powerhouses in the beauty industry have shut down. And here we are just flying. And I think the biggest thing here was the attitude. We needed to feed these families. I had these amazing women that were under my wing looking at me because TERS didn't pay them. Where is their next income going to come from? I needed to dive in, and I needed to make sure that there was some sort of income coming in this time so that these girls could get paid. Don't worry about me, I'll live. I needed to take care of them. And so in this time, we were innovatively working, coming up with new ideas, the lives, a brand new clientele. I reached a massive target market. I did an untapped target market that was untouched in this time, that I forgot about, that I managed to touch during the pandemic. And what I did was, I was so clever. Like sometimes I think, hey, Unaiza, you're not just a pretty face. I used the whole concept of wearing a mask, and 80% of your face is going to be covered. Make the next 20% count. And lots of people,
that is amazing,
were looking at themselves and on Zoom and noticing that their one eyebrow was skew, and they were like, what's happening? Something's wrong. And using the play on words, I managed to sell masks and great brows. So they went hand in hand.
That's amazing.
And as an entrepreneur, you're always sitting and thinking like, what can I do differently? How can I reach this person? You're always coming up with brand new ideas, and we had to think out of the box.
True.
I mean, I was telling my clients to shave their eyebrows, which is like against my ethos and philosophy. Like, how can you do this? But this is what we were doing. We were rescuing brows, and these clients now believed me and bought into my brand, and they're now a customer. So pre-COVID, I started, I hired 10 girls for the Sandton City store, and I needed to keep these girls motivated. So we carried on with the masterclasses. I developed all of my material. Funny enough, I had a videographer come in and shoot all my work, my content in that time, which now is done. And the girls carried on with their training, and we kept them motivated. They did occupational health and safety. They were doing courses like coming out of their ears. I felt so bad for them, but I needed to keep it relevant for them so that they knew that when we're allowed to go back, you will have a job. And the mall came back to us and said, guys, we'd love you to come in, and that was it. And then the opportunities just started streaming in. Foschini came up to me and said to me, would you like to be part of us? We've opened up in Foschini now.
That's
so
amazing.
The brand association and brand alignment is so important, and here we are, 12 stores down, making changes. We are disruptors and breaking the glass ceiling, but no one really sees the hard work.
I don't think anybody sees that. And just like you said, I'm sort of, it's weird to say, I'm sort of thankful for what COVID has done for me and my career.
I get it.
And the business, but it's like there are other people who suffered a loss. But
yes.
I believe that if you were willing to rise above the challenge and find ways to navigate that challenge, you were always going to succeed. And I just believe that's what entrepreneurship is about, finding ways to, it's problem solving. That's what it is.
I mean, our beloved President Nelson Mandela said it very nicely, the impossible becomes possible until, there was something to go around the quote.
I haven't heard that quote.
I think until you actually get it done or something like that, but it's a very profound quote because you just get it, you got to do it. You got to go in, dive in and get your work done and support. I think when you have people that are relying on you, you have a new purpose.
Yeah.
That you've got to look after these girls, these households. I mean, this one household is just, this one salary is feeding an entire household.
That's probably has nobody else feeding them because everything else stopped as well.
Correct. So there was lots of responsibilities on my shoulders, but I'm glad I kept my head firm and I was like a duck, swimming underwater, paddling for my life, but my head was here and I was just looking graceful in everything that I did. But it was really just getting into it. So yeah, excited much, yeah.
I think we've got a couple of questions to head to. If you guys have asked any questions, some of them should be coming up now.
Yes.
So
we have a question from social.
Yes.
It is for you, Unaiza.
Okay.
It's from Tlale. She says, my dream is to go to beauty school, and after I have qualified, I want to teach and employ other women so that they can be independent. So I think the question here is, what was your journey to where you are today?
Okay. So I first started off at the University of Johannesburg studying communication science, and I totally hated it. It was definitely not anything I enjoyed. And someone said to me, you're such a people's person, why don't you go into the beauty industry? Which I did. And I got there, I qualified, and I worked. I worked as a student doing my degree as well as my diploma in the beauty industry, but I still worked and I got a lot of experience through the retail environment. And I moved back to Johannesburg after qualifying and I found my first job and I loved it. And then I bought my first business and I didn't do my due diligence and there was no customers. And that's when I had to find a way to bring in clients, and my story is a story of an amazing, humble rags to riches story where I started giving off brows on a market every weekend for free so that I could build up a customer base. And studying beauty is one thing, but living your true purpose and finding your niche is very important. There is a masterclass that I have on my website, which is for free, that you can go and learn about eyebrows, the muscles, the cycle of the hair. There's so much that the wealth of knowledge that is available on my website. You can just log on and you will be certified once you've answered those questions. And you can see whether this is really what you want to do. And once you've achieved your goals of qualifying, collaborating or getting your CETA accreditation is quite a daunting task. But once it's done, you then empower women in the beauty industry. I mean, I work with women that have never touched an eyebrow. I take them under my wing and I teach them and I coach them. It is the hardest thing to do, but it's the most rewarding job ever.
Cool. Your question, Austin,
yes,
is from, I think it's Ludi, sorry. 2020 showed us finances can dry up.
Yes.
What advice do you have for small businesses with limited income to prepare for something like this if it were to happen again?
Look, I think one of the biggest things that I learned while starting my business was to always have some sort of cash flow for emergencies, whether we're saving up to buy equipment, whether we're saving to expand the business. And that's how we survived. You know, I took money that was meant to be for other things to expand the business. I was going to employ 2 other people on a full-time basis into the business, and I had to take that money and put it into the first 2 months of COVID, where we were struggling, and I was paying, you know, my team salaries, because I thought, you know, it's the first 3 months, we'll be okay, you know, we can pay full salaries, which, you know, was a mistake. Other people had already asked to cut down salaries. And, you know, I learned that, you know, you need to save, always save for a rainy day. And, you know, when things go bad, always readjust. You know, we came back and we had to readjust our prices so that we could be able to adapt to the times. And a lot of people don't do that. They don't realize that people are still struggling. They're just like, oh, okay, cool. We open, the industry should be flowing back to normal, and, you know, I'm going to charge my rate as it is. But what you need to do is readapt to the situation that we're in. Not all clients have full access to their funds, so you need to cut your rates in half, or, you know, bring it down by 30% to accommodate your clients, so that you're still able to take some work without having to reject work because it's not your full rate.
May I add in something here? I think it was those businesses that had a fund, a capital that was resting, you know, for a rainy day, and a very successful business has enough money for a year to cover all of their running expenses. And it was those businesses that made the comeback, because they needed the money to reinvest, to open their businesses, because we had all this PPE that we needed to purchase. Before we could even see a customer. There was a lot of costs before we even open our doors. And I think saving in a business is the most important thing, not just for a rainy day, because money makes money.
Money. That's it. Okay.
Well, that's the end of our show. Thank you so much for tuning in. It has been an awesome time here with Austin. Awesome in Austin. Awesome in Austin. And we look forward to seeing you guys soon. And thank you so much for watching.
Thank you for joining us, guys. Have a good night.
Yay!